Good morning and welcome to Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition on 92.9 KVRE, online at kvre.com and on iHeartRadio. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Hope you had a good week this week. One of the biggest weeks in sports of the entire year is here. Tracy, are you ready for a little March Madness?
Pal, I'm already mad about it. I'm going to tell you that right now. And a lot of other folks are mad about it too, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, you're right, Mark. This is one of the, if not the biggest event, I mean, unquestionably, if you're a baller, and if you're just somebody that likes to get into college, hoops, I mean, you can't get any better than this, right?
64 teams enter. One team will be cutting down the nets at the end of the tournament, and 0 people in the world ever in the history of this sport have gotten the bracket perfectly correct. But this year that will change, Tracy, because this, in my opinion, is the most stacked league that we have ever seen in men's college basketball. And probability tells me that, yes, even though there is a chance eventually someone's going to get this right. Real quick, before we go into it, okay, and I don't even remember what the amount of money is at this point, but it's life-changing. It's like infinite video game cheat code kind of money out there. Real quick, in a sentence or two, what would you do if you became a bazillionaire?
A bazillionaire, I would donate a lot of it because I'd get some back on taxes. And then the other half, I probably would just take another vacation, and then, I don't know, I'm pretty much happy with what I got. But a bazillionaire may think about even buying a team, a football team.
Okay.
Because Dallas sure needs some help.
Yeah. I've thought about it. I was like, I'd probably give back as well, and honestly, I'd probably give back to the community that I call home here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like athletic facilities for everybody.
That's it. No doubt.
Everybody in the KVRE listening area needs a state-of-the-art facility. We're going to talk about that more. I'm laying the seeds.
I don't know where we're
I'm
going
laying
with
the
this
roots
one.
in the seeds.
I know you're up to something.
I want everybody to know when we come full circle today, I want you to know how smart Mark Oliver is, and in his 38 years of age. Happy late birthday to me, by the way.
Yes, well, we just wait. Now, all week long we've been talking about that on the morning show with Tracy, exactly about that, and then why you had to tape it a different day. We thought you had a hangover, but then again, I know you don't drink, so there you go.
But some people might be drinking at the end of March Madness because this tournament is super duper wild. So Tracy, I know that you filled out your bracket. And I know that you were begging me for cheat codes and asking for hints before we started it. And I said, nope, not until we hit record. So here we go. Okay. Let's break it down. So first things first. One team has to stand tall at the end of this thing, and let's start there. 64 teams enter, only one can win it. Who do you think has what it takes to go all the way?
You first.
Me first.
You first.
I'll go first.
You first.
I'm ready for this. Listen. This year.
Quit looking. You're looking on one sheet. Quit looking.
This year was the greatest year ever in college basketball for one particular conference, the SEC. The best ever. And let me tell you that the SEC has not always been considered a powerhouse conference when it comes to men's college basketball. But one team in particular, in my opinion, has had one of the greatest years ever, not only for its school, but in the SEC in general. They've been battle tested. All the top teams in the tournament, they've beaten them. And whenever it comes down to the tournament, we all know that it isn't always the team that was the best all year long. It's the team that's hot whenever it matters the most. There are only 2 teams in the nation that are ranked top 10 in offensive and defensive efficiency. One is Duke. Surprise. It's not Duke.
Nope.
It's Florida, baby. It's the Gators. No, you didn't. How did you do that?
Florida, baby. Because
I
went a different route. You know the numbers. I was practical about it. After all they went through with the coach and everything else, and he came back, and being thrown under the bus.
And here I came into the studio today, and I was like, this dude's going to pick Auburn, and I'm going to make him look like such a joke by the end of this tournament. Man. You went with Florida, too.
You betcha.
Well, let me tell you why I went with Florida here. Okay,
right.
I've already started off a little bit here, but look, this team is battle-tested. SEC tournament champions, okay, emerging as the tournament champion in a league that is just full of guys that have been beating each other up down the stretch this year. Yeah, I like that. They're well-rounded. They're healthy. And this is a team that's really playing with a chip on its shoulder right now, because I've watched a lot of commentary on March Madness and picks and predictions and dark horses and Cinderellas, and everybody is picking Duke, and Auburn, and Houston. But the number 1 seed, the Florida Gators, I think that's the team everybody's sleeping on. They're too deep virtually at every position. Walter Clayton Jr. is going to be a household name, in my opinion, when he goes to the NBA. And he leads the charge of a three-headed guard monster. They all shoot better than 35% from the three, so they got the three ball. Down low, they got two young men that are difficult to control down in the paint. Alex Condon is 6'11". Micah Hanlogton is 7'1". These two guys are nearly unstoppable. They lead the league in offensive rebounds. They're crushing it. Florida is a top 3 team in fast break points and points off turnovers. So tell me the weakness. Show me the weakness for this team. You can text me right now on the text line. Show me the weakness for this team and tell me why they're not going to cut down the nets at the end of this tournament, because even though I'm not like a super Florida Gators fan, I'm looking at this on the outside looking in, and I hear you on Duke, but they've got some injuries right now and some questions. I hear you on Houston, probably the best defensive team in the league, but what about their offense? And I look at Auburn, best team all year long. Probably the top seed and the number 1 team in the country coming into this tournament. They just lost 3 out of 4 coming into this thing. You tell me that team's red hot right now? I don't buy it. I'm buying Florida.
Mark, here's the only, if anything, that I can see as any kind of thing against them is their bench. Those guys play a lot of minutes, okay? Their first 5. Now, they've got some guys that can come off. So if they get in foul trouble, which this has you can state this case for almost any of the teams that play in this tournament. A lot of them play a lot of minutes, and you got game, then you get a little rest when you go to 16, a little more of 4, and then the final. But as it is right now, these first games are so crucial to utilizing your bench, because it's going to be a long haul. But foul trouble, if you notice the last time they got in, okay, you said the three-headed monster. Okay, not only did they get in foul trouble with 2 of their guards, but also Michael down low, the big guy, he got in foul trouble also. And they weren't as fluent on the fast break. Anytime you got different guys coming in off the bench, it works just a little different, okay? So they didn't get the fast break points. They didn't get the second shots like you were talking about on the offensive rebound on the boards, okay? With that was their last game that they lost, and that was a long, long time ago. And as it is right now, what you said, I'll reiterate, who's hot and who's not. And, yes, they are hot. If you saw the final with the SEC game, was it a game really?
Not really.
No,
Florida ran away with that game.
Tennessee had questions.
And that's a good Tennessee team.
I've got them going quite a ways.
And Alabama is good. And make no bones about it, Auburn is good as well.
They're
but
good
only
too.
one can stand at the end of the tournament. I believe it's going to be the Gators. Apparently you do as well.
Yeah.
But okay, so fine. We agree on who's going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Final Four. Who are your other 3 teams that are going to be in contention to cut down the net?
Well, let's go on since you went first on saying who your champion is, I'm going to go with that. All right, on one side of the bracket, you got the South and the West, okay? Well, that's just going to be another matchup of SEC right there. You're going to see Auburn and Florida get after it. And I don't want to go as far as having the top seeds, but I'm sorry. This could be the best top seeds that the Final Four has seen in a long, long time.
Right. History tells us you pick all 4 number 1s. That used to be a pretty trendy pick.
Yeah.
But here, in recent years, we've seen, I believe, a team that is either ranked 5th or lower make it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
So,
in the last 6 years.
Picking all number 1s, picking number 1s and number 2s doesn't really feel comfortable coming into this, but this is a different monster. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, and I just think that they're that good this year, the SEC. On the other side, where you got the East and the Midwest, I'm sorry, but Duke and Houston. I'm just telling you. And then Duke coming up
So you got a Florida Duke finals, what you're telling me here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we did differ a little bit here, and that is okay. I only have 2 number 1 seeds making it to the Final Four.
Okay.
And I have 2 number 2 seeds making it to the Final Four. So my Final Four consists of course, Florida, and they will be taking on the Spartans of Michigan State.
Can he do that, though? I mean, how many years has he been coaching up there now? And why is he not retired?
Because he likes to win. When you're a winner, you don't want to quit because then you feel like a loser.
Okay, well, that's the team that I've got Auburn beaten just barely.
Okay. And we're going to talk about Auburn more here in a second. On the other side of the bracket, I do have Houston. I do love the Cougars. I do think defense can win championships. It often does win championships, let's be honest. So I do have Houston, and I have a very scrappy Alabama team taking on the Cougars in the Final Four. And this feels really, really weird for me to say because I am not really an SEC fan, but I do have an all-SEC final. I have the Florida-Bama final.
Oh, stop it.
I do.
Did you see the way they played the other day? And now they're now Mark.
Look,
Mark.
I get it. But the Alabama Crimson Tide, they're kind of like the bad boys of the South.
Well, yeah, they have more. They make more. They make more problems than anybody on defense. That's for sure. But guess what else they lead in? Fouls.
And
they lead in fouls.
Oh, yeah. Okay. They're a very physical team, and that's what it's going to take to beat a team like Houston.
They're basically the Pistons of the 80s.
You better believe it.
Okay.
You better believe they are.
And that's who they are.
So I got a Florida-Alabama final. You got Florida-Duke. I think both matchups are extremely realistic.
I was tricking you. I was going to see.
Stop
I got Florida and Houston.
Are you serious? Give me that paper.
I got Florida Houston.
For all the fans that have not turned us off yet, he does. He has Florida Houston. I can't believe you.
Yeah.
He has all 4 number 1 seeds.
That's
Florida,
right.
Houston, and fine. I like that. Okay, so let's talk about everybody's favorite part of March Madness.
Okay.
That's dark horses and Cinderellas, and they're different. Okay. A dark horse to me is a team that is maybe ranked, I don't know, somewhere in the top 10 seeds.
Right.
A Cinderella is maybe like your 11 through 16 outside looking in, but can make some magic. Dark Horse is one of those teams that I feel like everybody's kind of overlooking right now, but has the potential to take down one of those number 1 seeds.
No doubt.
And a Cinderella is somebody that, mid-major, makes some noise, get a win or two, and has a good story. So let's talk about your dark horse of the tournament. Who do you see as a team that you think people are sleeping on right now?
Now, here's the deal. We could do that 2 different ways. The dark horse, obviously, or your Cinderellas, maybe could become from mid-majors or whatever. I'm thinking the teams also, though, that have records that maybe do not reflect how really good they are. Or maybe just like you said a while ago, when they're hot, and when they're not, they're not. My sleeper is Colorado State.
Okay.
Is Colorado State.
I have heard that many times on many different analyses from different sports personalities. Yeah,
and until they get to Florida, they're gonna make a run.
Okay,
they're gonna make a run. That's my bracket buster right there. Also,
your bracket buster,
the 12-5.
Okay.
Well,
there's 12-5 is always a matchup to look at, right?
Matchup.
It always seems like it's a 12 beating a 5. Let me scroll back through my bracket, make sure. I actually did not pick a 12 over a 5 in my conference. That may be why that Mark Oliver will not be a bazillionaire. You heard it right here first.
You didn't?
I picked no 12s over 5s this year. My bracket buster this year is, I believe, going to happen in the round of 32.
Okay.
First things first, I really love Creighton. Love the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays?
Love them.
Blue Jays.
However, my love of the Blue Jays does not get out of the first round. I believe the Louisville Cardinals are the sleeper team that nobody is paying attention to right now. 8-9 matchup, I think they beat Creighton. I also have them beating the Auburn Tigers. And here is why. Louisville, Auburn in the round of 32. Where is that game being played? It's being played in Kentucky. It is nearly a home court advantage for Louisville. Auburn has lost 3 of the last 4 coming into this tournament. Will they have trouble with Alabama State? I doubt it. Have we seen a 16 beat a 1 before? Sure. I think they advanced to the round of 32. But Auburn playing in a hostile environment, which is basically a home crowd for a Louisville team, which is really fired up right now, and I think can go the distance to make the Sweet 16 and potentially even further in the tournament. I have Auburn as the first number 1 seed falling, and I have them falling to the Louisville Cardinals.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Okay, well,
there's my bracket buster there.
That is a good analogy right there.
And if it happens, you come see me. I'll give you the Powerball numbers as well. They're probably wrong, but I'll give them to you anyway.
That's a good analogy. I just have them. I think that's going to be the game that either makes or breaks Auburn, and I think it's going to be a close one. Louisville's playing really good ball right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
They just missed out on the final, of course.
That's right, with Duke.
With Duke, I mean, literally. But here's my rationale on that. Yes, they've lost several games now, but Auburn. So you don't think the ship's going to be righted? You think they're going to keep on the losing trend? How do you win that many games in 1 year and all of a sudden you just go nowhere? All of a sudden, no, he has no injuries.
Listen, like I said, Auburn's a good team. Auburn's a good team, but this basketball game, is a very mental game. And if you are losing confidence going in, losing 3 out of 4 going into the tournament, then you're limping into the tournament. I don't care if injuries or not. As a team, you are limping into this tournament and you are losing confidence internally, externally. Now, it's Auburn's tournament to lose in the fact that have they been the best team for majority of the year? Sure. But there's a lot of pressure that's being attached to that. I don't know that they can hang in the league with the rest of the big teams out there. They got a target on their back, and I don't know if the pressure is something that they can overcome.
All right, you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Clemson.
Okay, I like Clemson.
I
like Clemson.
Clemson. They're opposite of Alabama, but you didn't look too close on that. You see, the only people I got beating Alabama is Duke.
Okay.
I got Alabama. Yeah. Okay. I got them going all. Okay. Duke's the only one that can handle them. The kid should be back from his ankle sprain by then, I would hope.
Cooper Flag, of
what
course.
They're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything. But Clemson, the way they played last time, I mean, coming up, they almost made it to the finals. They did really good. They were right there with Duke the whole time.
Yes.
If you think about it,
yes.
Look at that. And then they got in foul trouble, and that's. I'm gonna be honest with you, Mark. That's the biggest. These refs, you know how they are. They want to. If they play, if they coach, if they ref in a certain area, as long as they get to stay in that area, then they get to keep going. So there's a reason why those refs try to call close games because they they obviously keep going also. So they're not just doing one region. If they call one certain area, then they get to get bumped up. So do they call close games? Some of them do, some of them don't.
All right, last but not least, your Cinderella. This could be a 10 seed through 16 seed. Who do you think is going to have that miracle story and potentially be that Sweet 16 sleeper?
Cinderella, baby. Cinderella.
What do you think?
BYU. I'm telling you, they can shoot. If they're hot, they're hot. And they so far here lately, and you realize in the last, I think it's the last 10. I think it's 10 or 11. They've made it to the 16, but never got to past that in the last 10 years.
I actually agree with you. I have BYU going pretty far in this tournament, and I think that this absolutely could be their year as well. A team that really looks spicy to me is 11 seed Drake, the 30-3 Bulldogs. They're 6-0 in quad 1 and 2. They've got very big wins under their belt. They have smothering defense. They lead the nation in steal percentage. They're really good at controlling the tempo of contests, and that's what it all comes down to. If you force your opponent to play your style of basketball, you're already winning before you even light up the scoreboard. I don't know how long Drake's ride will be, but I am here for it as an 11 seed and the lowest seed in the tournament in my bracket, making some noise. Go Drake, go Bulldogs.
I can't believe you didn't. Nobody's St. John's. Nobody. I mean, everybody's just distant. Best defense in the league. Period. In NCAA.
I know,
best
and well
defense.
coached, and very well coached by a veteran coach as well. But I don't even have him making my Final Four.
I got Tech beating them. How about that? I got Tech beating them. All right. Well,
last but not least.
All right. What you got?
Of course, we're recording on Thursday, right before the tournament begins, so to not taint our picks here. However, Arkansas made the tournament. How deep do the Razorbacks go?
They beat Kansas.
I don't have them beating Kansas.
They're done. I know. I don't. That was sentimental.
I don't
either, really. But
I have the Jayhawks. Sorry, Razorback Nation.
No,
it's been an inconsistent year. It's great that they made it. It's going to only be better next year, but it's a very big achievement to make the tournament based on the ups and downs this year.
6 players. They play 6, 7 players all year.
I mean, exactly.
6 or 7 players. But the only reason I said that, Cal beating one of his best buds, as far as coach for Kansas. They've been friends. They've coached together. They've been together. They've done a lot together. I mean, they eat together at Thanksgiving, that kind of a deal.
We got a lot to talk about on this week's show. We've got some championship basketball to talk about when we return right here on Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition 92.9 KVRE.
Second quarter coming up.
And we're back. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition 92.9 KVRE, online at kvre.com and iHeartRadio. Tracy Simpson is here. I'm Mark Oliver. Happy Saturday to you. Hey, and we got to toot our own horn a little bit here, Tracy, because all season long, when we looked at high school basketball here in the KVRE listening area, Garland County, Saline County, and beyond, we said that we feel very, very confident that we will be able to crown and recognize and honor a state championship team, a state championship win for one of the teams in our backyard. We were so right that we were wrong. It wasn't one team. It was 2. Congratulations in a big way to Saline County. We focus a lot on Garland County on this show. I'll be the first to admit that. Saline County is going to get its due today on Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition. We first start with 5A boys action, where Tracy, the old adage rings true more than ever. It ain't over until it's over. The Benton Panthers, down by 5 points with 17 seconds to go, hit some clutch free throws. They cut Maumell's lead to 1. The Hornets turn it over. And then Terrion Burgess, MVP hero status, takes the inbound, powers through a contested layup, and seals the Panthers' first state title in school history. No sweeter fashion than a 58-57 triumph, last shot at the buzzer. They will be talking about that game, that comeback, that shot, that win for generations at Benton High School.
It was spectacular, man. It gave me the chills right now. You just talking about it again. I mean, it was just that spectacular, something that they'll be talking about forever in the halls, where they've got a lot of champions through the years. But if you think about it, Mark, that's incredible. All the years, and this is their first championship. I mean, but think about what all the accomplishments how many conference championships and how many, runners up they've had and everything, and how long Benton's been around. And this is a remarkable feat right here. And to do it in that style, that way, unbelievable. And I keep watching. I've watched it now. I've got it on my phone, and I've watched it 2 or 3 times. But just the excitement, and that's what it's all about. If you can't get excited about something like that, then you need a defibrillator. I mean, it's just that simple.
Yeah, and there are so many reaction shots and footage of that shot on social media everywhere. I love seeing the emotion from the players, but Tracy, I'll be honest, the most fun part about watching that footage is watching the different fans' expressions, looking at the Benton fans and the look of awe on their face. You've got what looks to me like just like other members of the student body. They're like literally ugly crying because they could not believe it. And that's how special that this year was. Listen, Benton was right there in contention last year, and they fell short of their goals. And all that does is put a bigger chip on your shoulder. This is a Benton Panthers team that was hit with a number of injury concerns right around Christmas time. And it was starting to bring up the question, can they do this? Can they even get to the postseason, limp across the finish line? What is this team going to look like in 2025? They came back with a huge slate of wins and non-conference play. No losses in 2025. They routed pretty much every 5A South foe that they ran into, get that second consecutive conference title. And this was a team that, Tracy, this was a story that was described to me by one of my friends who attended the game. They were down 5 with 17 seconds to go. And it was described to me that there were Benton fans in the arena that decided to pack it up and leave. They said, you know what? It's not happening. Maumell's got this. I can't be in here to see my team lose. I got to go. And I think the players saw that, and that resonated with them. And they said, you know what? we are not losing this game. Clutch free throws, defensive turnover, shot at the buzzer. That's sweet, man. That's really sweet.
No, the comeback, I mean, unbelievable. But, and you were talking about some of the shots. I always love the fans too, but the cheerleaders are over there. Just see the one has her hands grasped like this, and she's it's picture perfect.
That's right.
She's got her hands on, like she looks like she's praying, or something like. And then when the shot's made, if she didn't jump, I mean, she could have slam dunked it. It was unbelievable. So you're right. That's what it's all about, and that's why fan is what? Fanatic, just short for that. But unbelievable presence, known coach. We talked about this earlier, and teams that were in it last year and just missed out on it. And Benton was one of the ones we talked about, Mark. And you're right, we were wrong because there were two of them, weren't there?
There were two of them, and the other one is the Bryant Hornets after 44 years. The championship drought is over. Kellen Robinson, of course, this is a name that you've heard so much. Dual sport athlete at Bryant, scored 25 points. The Hornets grabbed that momentum. Coming out of the halftime locker room, they took charge of this game. They never looked back. They took care of Springdale 69-59, 10-point win. It really wasn't even that close to me, Tracy. Huge tournament final for them, their first state championship since 1981. Got to remember, they were one victory shy of winning it all last season. They lost to Little Rock Central in the title game. What did I just say? Losing in big marquee moments generates leaders. It puts that chip on your shoulder. It makes you want to work that much harder. Saline County's flying high right now in the basketball scene for sure. Bryant had that different ending to the season this year. Coach Mike Abramson has been doing this a very, very long time. I used to be the play-by-play voice of Bryant back in the early 2010s when Coach Mike Abramson was the head coach, and that was a different Bryant boys team back then, not as successful, I'll be honest, but he has stuck through it. He's continued to generate leaders, generational talent for the Hornets. And of course, look at their athletic story, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, one of the best dynasties athletically on the high school scene in the state of Arkansas. And you love to see it for Central Arkansas as opposed to Northwest Arkansas. But what a huge win for Bryant. Dominant fashion, getting that win over Northwest Arkansas's Springdale.
And you see this now, the sort of separation of state, Mark. We talk about different levels here in Central and in South Arkansas, but Northwest Arkansas is its own entity in itself. We see that now they're starting to pull away from the pool. But I think now that you see this, well, we've seen it now in football with Bryant, of course, and Conway, but we started to see that trend in Northwest Arkansas. Now, all of a sudden, when you don't think of Bryant necessarily, I mean, basketball, it's almost like talking about SEC play. It's football. Well, wait a minute. No, it's basketball now. Well, the same with Bryant. And you saw that trend a couple of years ago, actually. You could see it just starting to build up. North Little Rock always had some good years, of course. Conway, even, the Kittens over there, they did real well. But now Bryant, dual threat. And now I know baseball's going on now, too. So Saline County, very, very well ranked as far as not only football now, but also basketball. Unbelievable.
And something that you mentioned in the previous segment, foul trouble, played a big factor in that game. Springdale had foul trouble early. Bryant able to capitalize on that. Bryant had 24 points off of turnovers compared to just 7 for the Bulldogs. There were 44 total free throws in the game. Bryant had 24. Springdale had 20. But Bryant just would not be denied there. And it's fitting for a championship game that has such stacked rosters. Even with Robinson fouling out with less than 30 seconds to go in the game, he locks up MVP honors. The 5A and 6A state championships on the boys' side, they go through Saline County next year.
Unbelievable. I'm telling you what. And now I think that the sky's the limit for them also.
No doubt. No doubt.
So do we start talking baseball and softball right now as far as who's going to win state, or do we just sort of back off a little bit?
Well, that picture is still developing, actually, because there is so much talent right here in this KVRE listening area.
Just telling you.
But I will tell you right now, we've already featured so many local teams already and talked about the great starts and the great stories for them. Tracy, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I mean, Central Arkansas is back. We just talked about the shift from Northwest to Central. Central Arkansas is back, has been back. And yeah, absolutely. You're going to see state championships at this level in this listening area, and we cannot wait for that. We've got another huge story involving Saline County coming up when we come back. Don't go anywhere. This is Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition on 92.9 KVRE.
Third quarter coming up.
And we're back, Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition, 92.9 KVRE. He's Tracy Simpson, and I'm Mark Oliver. I promised a Saline County heavy show. You're getting a Saline County heavy show this week. Tracy, on Wednesday, big news on the high school football scene for the biggest high school football game in the state of Arkansas. And I'm not talking about the state championship game. I'm talking about the 51st annual Salt Bowl, the rivalry match between the Benton Panthers and the Bryant Hornets, now state champions on the basketball side. But when it comes to high school football, the Salt Bowl is going to have a new home this August. This fall, the series will move back home to the respective high school stadiums, with Benton playing host to the Bryant Hornets August 29th. That's a Friday. Wait, what?
Yeah, what?
So let's back up a little bit. The Salt Bowl began in 1974. It all started when a Bryant coach left the Hornets to go to Benton to coach the Panthers. That started the rivalry, and the rivalry had to move to War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock back in 2004 because the crowd sizes became much too large for the respective high school stadiums to seat everybody, to even stand everybody, to serve everybody. So the Salt Bowl has been at War Memorial Stadium for more than 2 decades now. But now we're going to go back to the high schools here. I've got a lot of questions. First, the media release from Bryant High School tells me, quote, that the decision was made after listening to families and considering the future of the event. The release also goes on to say, quote, moving the game back to Saline County allows the community to celebrate the rivalry, preserving the history and the spirit of the Salt Bowl. Something that stands out to me, listening to families. Tracy, what do you think that means?
That is a big one right here. I think, one, you got to take in consideration not just the game itself, but also the fans. I believe that is playing a big role in this. Also, what they're also losing out in the economy. I'm just going to say it right up.
With the game being in Pulaski County?
Yes.
In comparison to Saline County?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. I think, and I hate to say politics involved, but I'm just going to say politics involved. I'm just going to tell you right now.
There's definitely politics involved.
Oh,
something's
not smelling right.
Something's off.
Something's not
here,
smelling.
Tracy. Something's off. So what I did is, well, what I do every single day, I go to the comment section on Facebook because I wanted to know what the fans felt about this. I wanted to know what Saline County felt about this. I want to know what Pulaski County felt about this because this is a big deal. There are, on average, 30,000 plus fans at this game. It's a non-conference game every single year. To put that in perspective, that's more fans than any high school football championship game at any classification,
any level
in Arkansas. The Salt Bowl is that big of a deal. It's the biggest game in Arkansas, period. It's the biggest rivalry in Arkansas, period. Okay, so for the past 20 years, you've had, I think it's a fair assessment to say, half of Saline County. I think that's fair.
No,
half of Saline County, driving to Little Rock, traffic issues, parking issues. Okay, I could see that. War Memorial Stadium, it's a relic. It's historic. It's been there for a while. I have to tell you that War Memorial Stadium is also the home of Little Rock Catholic School for Boys, also the home field for Parkview. Another dynasty-like team in high school football, okay? It's also the home of every single Arkansas high school football state championship game because the AAA loves Little Rock. It's centrally located, and War Memorial Stadium has the history to kind of have that living legendary status of having champions crowned on that field. Is the stadium old? Yes. Is it deteriorating? Yes. Is it in big need of renovation? Sure. But you could also make the argument about Benton and Bryant High School, because now those stadiums are going to somehow have to suit 30,000 fans. They couldn't back in 2004. That's why they moved the game to Little Rock. They definitely won't in 2025. Okay, nobody's expecting that. It's unreasonable. When you talk about the financial piece of this, Tracy, is Saline County missing out because the game is not in their county? Fans are not eating at their restaurants, shopping at their businesses. Everybody loves Target, by the way. Everybody loves Target.
What?
Are they missing out because they're not in Saline County? Don't look at me like that, okay?
I've never been in that store.
Okay, whenever I say, hey, wife, hey, Hannah, let's go to the Salt Bowl. She said, I'll drop you off. I'll go to Target.
I'm going to Chicken Salad Chick.
Listen, okay? I'm going to go to Moe's.
Riverside Grocery and Catering.
I'm going to go check out all the great businesses. I digress.
McClendon's Appliances. I'm going to put one in the back of the truck before the game.
Here's the deal. Move it back to Saline County. Yes, you're going to have fans visiting those great businesses, those great restaurants, those great locales. However, when you look at the school districts specifically, here's what I see. Less seats, less tickets, less dollars. Here's the thing. The schools cannot raise the price of the Salt Bowl. The AAA sets the price for high school football games. So that's an option thrown out the window. What's the real benefit here? What is the real benefit? Is it to boost the economy? Because if that's your argument, okay. But how did the schools win from that?
Well, here's the deal. Here's the big topic, too. We got to reach in a little bit further. The proceeds, the money at War Memorial, okay? Who got that ticket right there? The home team. Okay, or did War Memorial get that? Okay, you see, let's go 30,000, 35,000, 40. Okay, $5 a head. Let's just look at that practicality. And how much did they serve there? How many boxes of popcorn? How many Cokes? How many nachos? How many hot dogs? How many hamburgers?
The court of public opinion says that prices have been on the rise, and the rental to use the facility has also been on the rise as well.
There you go.
So it is a cost issue, yes, and it's apparently big enough of a deal to lose out on the venue that offers you the seating that you need to jam-pack everybody. Now, listen, all the historians, all the older high school football fans are going to talk about, man, that's what it was all about back before we moved it to War Memorial. Standing room only, people standing on top of cars in the parking lot hoping to get a glimpse of the game. Here's something that I'm concerned about. Now, while face value, I am not calling for the cancellation of the Salt Bowl. Don't turn off the radio.
That's good. Wait, okay.
Let's talk about competitiveness in this contest. Bryant and Benton used to be a much more competitive matchup. Bryant is absolutely the biggest dynasty in this state, period. I know they lost to Parkview that one time. Fine. Bryant is the best team in football, any classification in the state of Arkansas. I'll stand by that statement any day of the week. Benton is also extremely good. But when you put him head to head, this is not an apples to apples matchup. It's not even close. And Benton has struggled in years past because of that. And we're talking about less ticket sales in the past few years. I don't know that it's necessarily because of War Memorial or not wanting to drive the short drive to Little Rock or rising prices. People want to go to a game to be entertained. And this is a non-conference battle. It used to be a conference battle. It's not anymore. And the landscape of competitiveness of this matchup has changed. And I think that's also a contributing factor as well.
You're seeing a lot more blue. You're seeing a lot more blue than burgundy. I got news for you that. It's just that simple. And I know it's also an activity. You're right. It's entertainment. You got to remember that. Well, it hadn't been so entertaining for the Panthers here since when?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Now, they'll host the game August 29th on Friday in their house. You better get there early because you know that tailgate's going to be there. You might start lining up at 6 a.m.
There's going to be a big screen out
let's
there.
See. Well, let's see. It is March 22nd. This show is March 22nd, which means you've got
not enough time.
5 months in a week.
Not enough time.
Why not now? Why not now? I want to hear from our Saline County fans in particular. I want to hear from Benton fans. I want to hear from Bryant fans. I want you to text the show, 501-915-1300. Let me know what you think. Are you in support of the Salt Bowl moving back to the respective high schools, or do you think this is a bad idea? Let us know. We'll talk about it again next week on the show.
No doubt about that. I think it's food for thought, and we may have a special guest on the show before it's all said and done.
Oh, so yeah. We need more input on this.
We've got a special guest coming up, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And trying to stay non-political, too, though.
Yes.
Okay, that's not what we're here for. Last time I checked, it's sports and shorts.
It's about the sports.
It's about
the shorts, even though it's freezing outside.
And the shorts on the second day of spring. Oh, but we got a lot more to talk about.
Fourth quarter coming up, local roundup. You know what's next right here on 92.9 KVRE.
Fourth quarter coming up.
The fourth quarter is here, Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition at 92.9 KVRE. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Tracy, in our local roundup, we got to tip our hat once again to the greatest baseball facility in Central Arkansas, Majestic Park. Spring baseball is here, Tracy. Back in the fall, Majestic Park, since opening its facility, has been continuously breaking sign-up and attendance records specifically to its youth programs. Back in the fall, Majestic Park broke all of its registration records with a whopping 520 kids signed up for fall baseball. 520. The spring numbers just came out. The spring league begins the first week of April. For the second consecutive year, the record has been broken for spring baseball this year. More than 800 boys and girls have signed up to play baseball in spring league competition. And I'll admit, first to raise my hand here, guilty. One of those is mine, and I am super excited about it this year. General Manager Derek Phillips is super excited. He promises this year's spring league competition to be the best yet. And the thing that I love about Majestic Park is they've added more leagues. They've added more opportunities for student athletes, youngsters, as early as three years of age to play T-ball. River just missed the deadline by a week. His birthday is April 8th. It's coming up, but he missed the deadline by a week. So he's still technically in T-ball. And I'm telling you right now, the Oakland Athletics T-ball league is going to tear up the T-ball league this year. I'm telling you right now, the kid with the long blonde hair, watch out. He's a monster. He's a monster at home too, but we won't talk about it.
That's a whole other story.
But it's just another milestone for a great program that continues to do great things, great facilities. Of course, I'm always out at Majestic Park this time of year. Baseball, softball for Nighthawk Nation and National Park College with the spring leagues. And a fantastic grounds crew staff. I don't think they get enough credit, Tracy, for keeping this facility as beautiful as it is. Rain, sleet, snow, high winds, whatever weather Arkansas does, wildfires, just whatever. It seems like Majestic Park has the top-notch guys to keep that facility looking nice, looking beautiful. And what an experience for youngsters to learn the game for the first time, play the game for the first time. You talk about the love of a sport. There's not a better facility to get that love, get that firsthand introduction.
You know, when they first came in and they said, well, all the fields are going to be turf, everybody's like, what? Where are we going to get the money for this? You know?
Yeah.
And the money just rolled in. And think about how many games have been saved now because of the positioning of the fields. All right. And also because of the turf. And I got to say credit to, and they got the awnings over this. I mean, think about it. They can seat 50 on each side where the awnings are. Mm-hmm. That's unbelievable. Of course, Dads and you, we get our chairs and come up and line up behind the, dugout and everything. You know that, or we cover first or third baseline, depending on who's home and who's visiting. But I've got to say the credit's there also because many a game growing up, I played there. I played there for several years, and I can't tell you how many, especially when we got into high school, playing over on that field on the far end, which is now the Babe Ruth field. We couldn't play simply because the right side over by the train trestle always was underwater. That's where it drained. It was always underwater. And although I didn't play much outfield of third base, it just seemed like every time Gary Jackson was out there, or also another guy that you well know who's been out there at Mountain Pine a long time, and we all know who he is. I don't want to make his head grow too much more.
I will. What's up, Coach Neville?
Anyway, and yes, that's how old I am. We played together for 3 years together. Also, we played on the same all-star teams together. And yes, we traveled together. And boy, you talk about, it doesn't matter whether he's on a bus or on a football field or baseball. He's the same, his same same loudness. I'm just going to say it right now. You can hear him anywhere.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So anyway, I just got to tip my hat right now to the fields out there, and you're right, the groundskeeper. And I know it's turf, but sometimes even turf's tough to handle. But I'm going to go one step further though. The area to where they've got the little play area also, because if you know baseball, if you've ever been to a tournament or any type, sometimes those days are long. And when you've got a facility over there where the kids can go do something, entertain while the other kid is playing baseball or softball, that means that, everything. That speaks volumes. So to think that in there, I think just everything. Now, I think the biggest challenge now with 800 kids, man, I don't want to be the one to make the schedule out.
Yeah.
That's going to be a different animal altogether.
We might practice T-ball until 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights. That might be something that actually happens. Yes. But, you mentioned the playground. Hey, Mountain Pine doesn't have school on Mondays. The kids are with me. Nighthawks play on Mondays, so we're out at Majestic Park, and that playground is everything. It's got a locking gate. You can just lock them in there, and don't
play forever.
I don't advocate leaving your children unattended, okay? But I know nothing bad is going to happen to them. Very, very safe. Very, very beautiful facilities. Love it. Hey, Tracy, we talked about state championships. Another state championship to bring our way. Congratulations to Lake Hamilton Junior Rayleigh Hunter. She was crowned the Class 5A 125-pound state wrestling champion at the beginning of March. We love state champions. We love our KVRE listening area local schools. Congratulations. She got her 100th win in the semifinals. That tournament held at UALR's Jack Stevens Center, another legendary sports facility here in Central Arkansas. She's the real deal. Congratulations to Rayleigh Hunter.
And by the way, schedules, which they do have, if you maybe know somebody that's going to be in these games or whatever, if you've got a grandson, granddaughter, whatever the case is, aunt, uncle, baby, you can go to majesticpark.org and see all the schedules. If you're just like a fanatic like me, I love going out and watching these games. majesticpark.org. It also has everything on there listed as far as tournaments that are coming up and where you can actually go out there and watch Mark in action. It's got every lineup, everything on it. It's a great site that they really do well with. majesticpark.org. And once again, just congratulations to them. Mark, by the way, we did have a winner from our last week. And sure enough, he was the first one to hit the text line, and he did win that T-shirt.
That's right. Congratulations to Bud Siegel, the winner of the KVRE T-shirt for the Sports and Shorts first anniversary celebration. It's wild that nobody's taken us off the air. I don't know if Alice is listening. Maybe she just loves it and loves the chaos and the quirkiness, and we hope that you guys too. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition is here every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You can text the show 501-915-1300. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Have a great week.
Way to go, Bud. Game over.